leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy,
My favorite song.
He's
The
chasing the
laughter
beer.
saves lives.
They
Theme
tickle the
song.
lips, play
It's called Play
ball.
Ball. Yeah.
Play ball.
Play ball. My friend.
Roll up the bases and
England's
smack it
favorite
right over
song.
the wall.
Yeah.
Play ball.
We are back. Laughter Saves Lives, live here on Strong Island TV, Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York. I am broadcasting though COVID style from my basement here in Belmore, Long Island, right next door to my Greek neighbors, who are wonderful, wonderful people. And we have a beautiful picture of my co-host tonight, Joe Pontillo. Hello, Joseph.
Yeah, partly. How are you?
You're looking wonderful. Wonderful. Did you do you enjoy our theme song, Joe?
I did. I thought it was pretty on brand for you.
Let me tell you something about that theme song. That is an original song because we're not allowed to use I don't want to say real music. We're not allowed to use, songs that were recorded by artists. So Annie Wen, a childhood friend of mine, 6 girls, one boy, lived on 79th Place. The story's going somewhere, Joe. On 79th Place in Middle Village, Queens, where I grew up at 6622, and they grew up down the block. And she wrote this song.
Oh, wow.
Not for us. Not specifically for us. She was supposed to write us a theme song, but we never followed up on that. But the funny part is I was on 79th Place in Middle Village today because my daughter is moving into my childhood home.
Really?
It's full circle, Joseph. She is moving into the apartment upstairs where my aunt used to live. I used to live on the first floor with mom and dad and my 2 sisters. She's moving upstairs, and it's kind of interesting to be sitting on the stoop today where I used to sit as a young man waiting for the newspaper to read about the Mets.
Oh, you were one of those people, huh?
I used to wait for the paper boy. I would sit out there and good times. Good times.
See, when I was growing up, the newspaper came at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I wasn't waiting for that.
You know what? You might be right. Maybe I didn't wait for him to deliver it. Maybe it was delivered already. You got a point.
I just really wanted to catch it when they threw it out the window or threw it off the bike.
Yeah, I'm remembering things that didn't happen. That's what happens when you reach a certain age. It's a certain you think that would have been a good thing to do. How old are you, Joe? Can I ask how old you are?
I am 37.
No, you're not. Are you really?
Does that mean you thought I was older or younger?
No, you're a baby. Oh my God. Now, see, I'm 61. So did you ever see the paper boy on a bicycle?
No, I never saw one on a bicycle. It was just a car that drove by in the middle of the night. And it was funny because they easily could have been throwing garbage on your lawn. But instead, they were throwing a newspaper.
It's usually an elderly gentleman or lady driving by in some kind of van who throws the paper out the window now. It takes
right. They're up at that time, so it's the ideal job for them.
But it takes
no offense to any older people who may be watching the show.
Well, it takes away all of the romance of, to have a kid out there riding his bike and delivering papers in the cold, and that was pretty cool.
Wearing that hat, the little news hat.
I had a friend I never delivered the papers. I had a friend who did it. He went to St. Francis Prep, and he was an athlete. So he'd get it up at an ungodly hour, deliver the papers, then go to school.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That is dedication. And he made I have to say, he made it big on Wall Street, that young man. And he's doing very well.
That's what I figured. Or I was going to assume he owned a chain of fast food restaurants.
No. So, Joe, where are you from right now? Where are you calling from? Zooming, whatever we're calling, StreamYarding from?
I am Zooming from the one blank wall I have in my building in Brooklyn, where I live.
You live in Brooklyn?
Yeah, from Valley Stream.
Right. And is that and by the way, we are using StreamYard, not Zoom, because I say that because StreamYard is a large sponsor of Laughter Saves Lives.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. They don't give us a dime. Nothing. So you're in Brooklyn, and one of my favorite comics, and you have one of my favorite bits that many a comic, I think, request. We're not going to do it today because we're going to do it on one of our next COVID comedy shows that we're having. In fact, Bobby, if I'm catching off guard, can you throw up that flyer and let me tell Joe what this is all about, because I'd like him to be on a future show.
Sure.
So we're doing COVID comedy specials where I've given up on doing stand-up comedy shows at home. We started in the beginning, people trying to duplicate a stand-up comedy show. I'm sure you did a bunch of them, Joe, where you were standing behind a mic in your home doing a comedy set.
Yes.
Did you do
and
it?
I wore pants every time, which I don't think a lot of comics did.
They're difficult, you know? So what I have progressed to or regressed is a bunch of comics sitting at home, like, you know, because we're all at home just like everybody else during COVID, sitting on a couch, sitting in the kitchen. All the comics are on the screen. I talk to them a little bit. I interrupt the other comics, and they do some shtick. We go back and forth a little, some more shtick, and it's an hour of funny, and we're charging $6.25 for this show for raise some money for Laughter Saves Lives. And on this show, we had Marla Schultz, Peter Bales, Jamie Gravy out of Dallas, and Tom DiDario. It was an hour of messy fun.
Yeah. See, that's more fun than just trying to do your act on the internet. It's better to have that like back and forth kind of conversational thing going.
Exactly. But I suck some of your act out of you because I want some of your act because you're funny, but yet I may interrupt you after a bit and ask you a question because I think it could create even more funny. And it's just an hour of fun.
I like that. Like, hey, is that joke based on truth? Anything like that.
Something like that. Or Joe, what is that behind you? There is a quarterback on the wall.
What inspired you to write this bit?
Yeah. So what else is going on? You want to plug something? I thought you were doing something. I watched the video a few weeks ago of yours. You did some kind of shtick on the street.
Oh yes, I did I shot a New York tourism commercial to reflect the current times where there's nothing really to do in New York except eat outside or well, that's pretty much it. That's really all they have to offer right now, because everything else entertainment wise is either secret, illegal, or on the internet. So I was pumping out a lot of videos. Now I've been working on a bigger project, which hopefully people will enjoy. So I've taken a break from the shorter things.
Right. Good. Is there anywhere you want them to look for any of your stuff?
Yeah, all my videos are on YouTube. That's just youtube.com/Joe Pontillo. Please subscribe. And go find me on Instagram and whatever. That's Pontillogram. And you'll get all the videos when they drop.
When they drop? I like that.
Oh, yeah.
That just means when you put them on YouTube, right? When you put them on YouTube. But when they drop sounds a lot more exciting.
It sounds a lot more important, yeah.
And you are important. Have you written any COVID stuff that you are proud of that you think? Because we all have COVID material because we're living it. You know, we're living it. But is there anything that you wrote? You go, hey, you know what? That'd be funny no matter what.
I feel like it's so weird. This has now gone on for so long that I feel like some of the things I wrote at the beginning of it somehow are not relevant anymore. And
also, like a lot of other people have written similar material at this point from what you thought in the beginning was so unique, right?
Yeah, that too. It's like everybody doing political material, and it's like, well, there goes that. Everybody's got a good COVID joke now.
Yeah.
I feel like I wrote more jokes about some of the things that have happened in between, like, people protesting to get gyms reopened,
right?
People wanting to defund the police, and then What else happened? Just like all the weird restrictions that make no sense. Like, yeah, you can go eat at a restaurant, wear the mask. When you sit down, you're safe. Like, the virus doesn't see you anymore.
When the food comes, there is a barrier.
Yeah, the virus has a certain sight line. Thing closing at 10 o'clock because that's when it really gets strong. It's just a lot of things that people are just making up as they go along.
It's owl COVID. It comes out at night.
Yeah, somebody at a restaurant at 9:50 comes out banging up pots and pans. The virus is coming. The virus is coming.
Hey, how is Daren Dillon looking, Bobby? Did we work out anything with Mr. Dillon? Let's see if he can appear on the screen like magic. And there he is now. Hey!
I can hear you.
I did not want to forget about Daren Dillon. We had him on last week. We had issues. Daren, we were just talking about nonsense as we do here.
Yeah, I was listening. It was good stuff. I got my popcorn and everything. I was enjoying it.
Well, you know what? This is the preparation I did for the show. If you could see that index, or you can't see it, I wrote some stuff down on an index card at 5 to 8. Last week, I think you remember that we had Lou Gossett Jr. on.
Yes, and I was dying to talk to him.
And the first thing he said is, "Where's Daren?"
Yeah, because that motherfucker owes me $40.
Yeah, he didn't ask about me. Jeez,
hold on. We just went from R PG rated to R rated. That's okay. We can change.
Sorry.
That's right.
It wasn't me. It was the wine.
You know what it is? I don't know. Do you curse around your kids, Daren?
Yes, I do.
Very proud of you.
But I tell you, I'm a terrible parent, but they know not to. You do what Daddy says, not what Daddy does.
It doesn't work.
My kids are so much, they're so much better than I am, John. My son beats his own curses. He'll be like, "What the fuck happened here?"
Well, that's good. That's good.
You're dressed like a dad who curses at his kids.
Did you have the call from the teacher yet?
Last year we did. Yeah, we got one.
Yeah.
Mrs. Winter gave.
Now, cool.
Let me just preface this. My son's he may look like me a little bit, but he's not like me. He's so sweet and endearing, and he always wants to make sure that everyone's okay. And he's loving. He's nothing like me. So last year, this woman, Mrs. Winter, an older teacher, she was giving him a hard time.
Of course, you're using fake names to protect the innocent.
Yeah. Like there's actual Miss Winter as a teacher, and they'll replace one. Absolutely not. No. So she was giving him a little bit of a hard time, and my son doesn't bark back, nothing. But she was just really like poking at him. I told you to get over there. So finally, he had enough because he was getting embarrassed, and he said, "Geez, Brooke called up your diaper and died." So then I get the call from the principal, and he thought it was hysterical. Luckily, he's like, "Yeah, she's a little bit of a crotchety old woman," and it was very funny. But he can't say things like that. I'm like, "I know. I'll talk to him. I'm very sorry."
Does somebody have their computer on at the same time as watching the show? It seems like there's some feedback, or we're listening. No. Bobby, do you hear that? Bobby, the engineer, Mr. Ball.
Coming through you.
You think it's coming through me?
Yes, I do hear it. I just
Well,
don't
I
know.
heard you speak. I hear it.
I think I didn't hear it until Daren got on, so I'm not sure if it's coming from his computer or something.
Do you have your phone on now, Daren, or your computer?
Yeah, this is for my phone.
Oh, did you shut off the computer?
Yes.
Like, did you edit out of the computer? All right.
It's not on.
All right. You know what we're going to do, Bob? Let's go to our first commercial break, and then we'll bring up. Oh, is our first guest is Lonnie in the waiting room?
Yes, he is.
All right. So let's go to our first commercial. We'll bring in Lonnie, and Daren and Joe have some wonderful, wonderful questions for him because I didn't prepare a darn thing. No, I did.
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman and Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD, and if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
You know, this is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while, you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this victim compensation fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020 because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
And we're back. Michael, that was Michael Barish. Barish in McGarry. Great organization, great guy, runs the law firm down there. Daren, I just see fishies, and I see Mr.
I'm here.
Daren is out. He fell on the floor.
I'm
Lon,
here.
how are you, my brother?
We definitely got some audio problems going on.
We have a little feedback somewhere. You know, Bobby, if you all right, so it's not coming from Daren. I don't think it's coming from me. Please, no, don't tell me it's me. 1, 2, 3. Lonnie, you there?
Yes, I am. How are
Joe,
you?
it's coming from you because he just muted you.
Oh.
He just muted you. He's back. Lonnie,
Hey guys,
I'm going to ask Daren and Joe this question because I want to know what you're doing stuff all year round. It's not only for the holidays. You're not sitting there and you're going to go, hey, let's do something for the veterans for the holidays. You're out there all year round. I have been witness to it. I went to help. I did squat, really. I went out there. We gave out some sneakers out there in Suffolk with some hats to veterans. Then I went with you to Queens to give out boots to veterans who are homeless or very needy in a hotel where they're staying right now. They don't have a home. And, you know, when you leave something like that, Daren, and I'm going to ask Daren and Joe, when you leave something like that and you're on the way home, your nice warm home, take yourself out of your element and you spend your time doing something. There's something to be said for that. And you're doing this all the time. And I do it for different organizations that try to help out, but nobody has said to me, hey, John, get your ass into Queens. We're going to give out some boots on Wednesday. I'm like, all right, Lonnie, I'll be there. All right, Lonnie. So before I ask Lonnie what's up next, Daren, around the holidays or Joe, have you guys ever done anything either with the kids? Because we used to go like grab Santa letters and we'd go into the projects and give out gifts. And man, it was just awesome, that feeling when you leave there. Have you guys ever done anything like that, you know, with the kids or even by yourself? Daren?
Yes. Every year since they were little kids, we would always do Christmas shopping like for families other than just the kids. And they each would pick out a toy that they would really like. Oh, I love to have this toy, and then we'd wrap it, and then we would donate to Toys for Tots. So they've been doing that since they could walk. It is nice because it makes them realize the value of everything they have. Like they realize there's children that don't have anything. I'm like, yeah, you know how lucky you are.
Yeah, when I used to respond into some sections in Manhattan, Lonnie, or not Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx. And I would see this, and I would come home and would be like, "Yo, don't know how lucky, like they didn't do anything wrong, you know. You guys, Look, what the hell? Take it easy. Joe, any experience in that area? Like,
I used to take letters from kids for Santa and bring them to the North Pole to make sure they got there. No, I've done Toys for Tots, a couple of comedy show fundraisers for them. I did one radio Toys for Tots thing, which is cool. And it's like kind of crazy to, because I grew up with like, anything I wanted toy wise I could get. But imagine being a kid who can't get any toys unless they're donated by strangers. That's so ridiculous.
So here's what I'm getting at, Joe. Joe, you're in the area. Daren moved to Florida. But Lonnie, what is the next thing that you guys are doing? What is the next big event?
The next big event is we actually just completed one of the biggest ones of the year last week. We handed out 325 more pair of boots and 325 brand new coats.
Wow.
Along with paying for some underwear and some other stuff at a Nassau County stand down, similar to what we did at Suffolk County, but 4 times the size.
You didn't call me.
You know what? It just gets so crazy for me sometimes, but we have a really cool one coming up.
What's that?
One thing we don't do well is kind of, John, what you and I did in Long Island City was we kind of go in under the radar. We go to this location at, what was it, 280 vets living in this hotel.
Yeah.
That were previously street homeless in the streets of New York City.
It's amazing.
The organization is giving them a place to sleep now, not, on a corner. Leaving that for me is probably one of the greatest things I feel we can do. And financially, we can't even afford to do it every month like we'd like to. But we're going back there in a few weeks. So we're going to bring them 3,000 masks and toothbrushes for everybody is one of the things they requested.
Nice.
That's under the radar. I mean, it's really a few of my very special guests go to those things, and people have been doing it with me for a while. We got to back a truck up a really difficult block to do that. And I just realized that truck had a broken rearview mirror and a broken camera because I had to use it last week.
I'm telling
you. Got to bring your own mirror.
Yeah, there was no mirror that worked in that truck.
The poor guy, the street was blocked on one end because they were unloading trucks, and you weren't going to tell these guys to move the truck, or they would. I don't know what would happen. So I tell the guy, go down the opposite way. I'm directing him. The other lady is directing him. This poor guy's coming in finally. Said, I better shut up.
There's no rear view. The side view mirror was cracked.
I didn't know that.
It was brutal. But something like that is really special. And that's the most important thing that I think we do. But what we really lack in is kind of people to know what this is about. So I actually just spoke to Paul Pastor, who is the CEO of Larocchia Cares.
Right.
And he basically saw us last week. He says, you do all this amazing stuff. How come nobody gets to know what you do? I said, okay, we're going to do something together. So I got off the phone with him today. And we're going to donate somewhere between 150 and 200 brand new coats to Long Island Cares, along with another 150 to 200 pair of boots. They run a program called Vets Tuesday, that a vet can come into the soup kitchen, kind of no questions asked,
right,
on a Tuesday at about 4 or 5 locations in the Long Island area, and get food. Well, if a vet's coming in to get food, they don't have a coat.
Right.
If a vet's coming in to get food, they don't have a warm scarf.
Right.
So we're going to provide that for about, I'm guessing, 180 vets.
Can you, you know me? I like to break it down into cost because I like to ask my people, hey, let's get a coat. If you donate whatever, you'll buy a coat. Or, do we have any numbers like that where we can throw out to my people?
Yeah, you know what? A pair of boots is a pair of boots with socks is about $25, and a coat with some side items is between $30 and $35. So say $25 and $30.
So we'll put out a push for that on Laughter Saves Lives on the Facebook page, and we'll make another donation. By the way, I sent you a donation. Did you get the check?
When did you do that?
I sent it out the other day.
All right, so I'll check with the treasurer. She picks it up from the post office.
Check with the treasurer to make sure she got that. Daren, I really sent it. I'm telling you. Daren knows me. He's like, yeah.
I'll send you a text.
Yeah, he sent it.
I'll send you a text tonight.
Yeah.
But you know something? It's great around the holidays, and we talk about this all the time, that everybody donates money in the holidays. And, Daren and Joe, I would, bring my kids to something when they were little, and we would do some kind of Christmas or some kind of, Thanksgiving kind of soup kitchen.
Right.
But everybody forgets these guys in January, February, and March.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're right.
there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
We kind of dry up.
You're right.
But we can't dry up. We still have to keep going. We still have to keep fighting on. Because we serve probably 250 to 300 vets every single month, regardless. They're still in the shelters, and they still need our help. They need the underwear. They need the socks. Thinking about the logo.
Michael, why do we still have this problem?
Good question. We discussed this before. Tell him, Lonnie.
We'll always have this problem. Vets have come back with the unseen disability since the Roman Empire. Vets would actually be on their own because once they've done the things they've done in war, it's really hard for some of them, not a large percentage, but a small percentage, to basically get back to general population. Between the ages of 23, mental illness issues for male are very prevalent. And when you join the military, you're 18 years old. So there has been terms for PTSD from the beginning of time, and it will never go away.
And we've known this. Right? The military knows this. Why are we still not doing anything about it?
Because there's no missing leg. There's no missing arm. It's something different than you see on a commercial TV where you show the vet with the prosthesis, which I mean, these guys are my heroes, and we need to help them more than anybody out there. But what about the invisible disability? What about the PTSD? What about the issues that occur from that mental illness after supporting your country? That's the kind of guy and woman that we really spent some time with. A woman I met, I talked about her several times, and still sticks in my mind. Last Christmas, I had to actually leave the military because she kept repeatedly being raped by her commanding officer until she actually went AWOL and got out with a dishonorable discharge because nobody would listen to her.
Yep.
That's the person we just need to support.
Jaron, when we give out the sneakers,
Lonnie, you don't want to close with that.
Excuse me? I didn't hear that.
You don't want to close with that.
No, I don't.
No. Lonnie,
getting off my game. Wait, I didn't sit on my game.
Post-traumatic stress injury, right? This is what my buddy John Solano out of Texas, they're pushing. Don't call it post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's an injury, just like losing a leg or losing an arm, what these guys are going through.
And sometimes it doesn't hit you right away.
And the bad part is now we really do normally love sitting with these men and having lunch with them or dinner with them. And since COVID happened, we can't do that. But some of the stories and they're heroes. They've done amazing things. And when you sit and talk to them, I mean, one of my heroes is a guy named John, and John is Rambo. John has done 7 tours of duty as a Marine.
Wow.
And his issues are that he's lost so many of his men, and he has survivor guilt. He's tried taking his own life 5 times. One thing he's bad at, thank God, because he's a trained military person like I've never seen. And John lives in his truck. Okay, John cannot go into a facility. John feels closed in when he's in a house. John lives in his truck. And he's kept us free.
Yeah.
That's
and Daren and Joe, what Lonnie gave me, the gift of that day is to help them hand out those sneakers. And you're handing a pair of sneakers, pair of socks, a hat into a car. And some of these vets are not dressed that well. They're driving around like a beat up little machine. And they look at you and they look at you in the eyes and they go, "Thank you so much for these sneakers. Thank you." And you're looking at them like, you shouldn't be here. You should get sneakers and boots for the rest of your life for free. Thank me. No, thank you. They still don't get it, how much they've done for this country and how a lot of us put them up on a pedestal because they're waiting online for sneakers.
Right. And Susan we just hit the 52nd bed delivered today. From leaving shelters and getting their own places.
That's right.
So we partnered with Mattress Firm, and these vets get their own locations. They don't really have a lot of money. So we make sure they have a place to sleep when they get there. Because when we first found out about this, they didn't. We met a Vietnam vet sleeping on a cot with a blanket for a month. We delivered a bed, and we just sat in his apartment and cried and brought him some pots and pans and dishes and everything else he needed. It's what we do. We will continue to do it. We're working on some really exciting new projects for the future where we're gonna do the repair. Think about the 75-year-old vet who's basically living on a fixed income at this point, living in somewhere in Long Island, and his roof starts leaking and he doesn't have the money to fix it. It's a project I've talked to Home Depot and some other organizations about, and we're going to put a team of people together to go out and make that repair so that vet can stay in his house.
And that's the kind of stuff that I just love. You when you make that repair, have me come out there. I'll point and tell you guys what to do.
That's his expertise.
You need one of those, Lonnie. You need somebody to get the.
Hey, I thought that was my job because I can't do that for crap.
All right, you know what we're going to do, Lonnie? We're going to say goodbye to you. Please let me know with the next project. Laughter Saves Lives wants to buy some boots or whatever. We'll be with you.
Well, I'll connect with you. I'd love it if you join me on that Long Island Care Distribution. We're going to be bringing a truckload of stuff to Long Island.
Okay. All right, I'll be there.
And
I'll be there.
We're going to get to lift in some more boots again. Remember how many boots we brought out of the truck in Queens?
Hey, you know what? The funny part about that Queens thing was I was the strong guy. You brought me around for the muscle. The 61-year-old retired fireman was lifting the heavy boxes. I'm like, where's the guys that are going to lift these? And that lovely lady looked at me. That lovely lady looked at me and said, "Shut up and start taking the boxes out of the van." I said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am."
Yes, sir.
All right.
Scares the crap out of me.
Lonnie, thanks so much. We really appreciate all the work you do. You're doing God's work, man.
John, Joe, Daren, thanks very much.
Nice meeting you, Lonnie.
Thank you, Lonnie. You're the man.
Really good work.
Thanks,
let's go to commercial, and we'll be back with Nate if he's in the room there. If not, Daren and Joe and I will talk about stuff.
You got it. Hey, thanks, guys.
Take care. Let's go to commercial.
When someone is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad, who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Dad. Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
And we're back. 2 out of 3. Joe, why don't you try to sign out and sign back in?
The what?
Why don't you try to sign out and sign back in? Bobby, when you muted him, that background went away, right? That noise? When you muted,
when I muted Joe, it went away.
All right, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, he just left, so I don't know what he's got. His audio may be on, so it's feeding back into the mic. I'm not sure. He might not be aware of what's happening.
Yeah, he's not as savvy as Davin and I.
No, definitely not as savvy as you.
Yeah, right.
Davin, yeah, I mean, is that what he does is just amazing. And he started, you know how he started? Outside the Veterans Hospital, he saw a vet standing there and he asked him if he needed anything. And the guy said he needed underwear and socks. And they started calling him the underwear guy because he would buy a ton of underwear and stand outside the vets hospitals and hand them out.
Wow.
That's how he started. Him and his wife. They're amazing.
That's amazing.
God's work without a doubt. Do we have Nate, Bobby, in the waiting room? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Daren.
Hey, what's up?
Daren, look at the handsomeness of this guy. You see this guy, Nate? Look at the mustache. He's like out of Hollywood, this guy. Am I right?
I can't afford that.
Chavez. Look at him.
Oh, there's Joe back. All right.
God,
so
I love it.
This guy's going to be a fireman, right?
No, you won't.
Oh, no. I can't handle it.
Fireman's mustache.
Tell him your background, Nate.
Oh, when I grow up?
Yeah. He looks like
I don't know if you guys
Chapo.
know. Big Bad John, Big John. He was a fireman for 21 years.
Yeah. Do you know that song, Big Bad? So Nate, tell these guys your background and what you're doing right now with Irreverent Warriors.
Sure thing. So I served in the Marine Corps in special projects from 2006 until 2012, and then got out and have served as a contractor for the Department of Defense since then. And then about 2 years ago, got involved with the Irreverent Warriors. One of my friends in Fayetteville, North Carolina was like, hey, guy, we're doing this hike around town. It's for suicide prevention. And we're doing a ruck, 22 kilometers with 22 kilograms in our packs. And we're wearing these little shorty shorts, silkies. We call them all silkies. They're just like tiny old PT shorts from back in the day. And Marine Corps all knows them. So I just thought it was some sort of weird athletic event. Marine Corps is all about doing dumb things. So I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's do it.
All right.
So show up, ended up coordinating this whole thing with some of my friends. And then it was a whole lot more than an event. It ended up being a therapeutic thing. We had people showing up expecting there to just be a ruck, where they were just carrying weight and being all masculine. And 2 or 3 miles in, they're hanging out and meet some of their best friends of their lives and telling some dark stories that they hadn't been able to tell anybody. So it ended up being just a really true unconventional therapy.
Talk to us about the suicide rate with Marines.
Now I don't know who to listen to. This guy's saying, hey, Joe, and this guy's asking about suicide.
What are some of the numbers?
I'm sorry. I was going to go ahead.
Daren, go ahead. Go ahead.
Were you going to ask me about
the
my
moment's gone. The moment's totally gone.
So what are the numbers, Nate, that we can make what's going on a bit clearer?
Oh, sure. So the crisis that has become more clear over the past couple decades that nobody was really tracking is the fact that a lot of veterans are getting out of the service and they aren't transitioning well into civilian life. And it's not just veterans after service, it's a lot of military members while they're in as well. But we're talking, depending on who you talk to, and you'll hear this number differ from person to person, but the common well-known number is 22 a day. 22 military and veterans a day commit suicide every single day. And that's been a trend for years and years and years. When the study came out, it was, I don't know, now about a decade ago when they started trying to track these numbers and started trying to track them more aggressively. And really, it's not even about the number. For us, we know these numbers aren't accurate. When you start trying to take other things into equation, the numbers not reported, the numbers of guys that have taken their lives due to drug abuse or alcohol that just can't handle what they were trying to deal with.
Right.
Maybe the guys didn't pull the trigger. Maybe they did it some other way. Or the ones that weren't reported to the VA as a veteran suicide. We know those numbers are a lot higher than 22 a day even. But still, even then, we're talking thousands of dudes and women that served their country that just couldn't take the mental battles, psychological battles after the fact.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we are trying to combat. And we don't know any better way, coming from my side of the equation, than doing it with humor. Unconventional therapy, getting together with your buddies and laughing about it, dealing with some dark moments and knowing that you have somebody that's got your back next time you have one of those dark moments.
And that's what we're hoping to team up with you with, is the humor. We have one show coming at you. We have another one. I'd like to get Daren and Joe on one of my shows, the COVID shows, and we'll send you a link to that show for these guys. And you can also send it out as a fundraiser. But I wanted to just tell you in the comment section, Timothy Tim. Do you know Timothy Tim, Nate? Timothy Tim.
Who?
Timothy Tim is his name.
I'm not certain. Possibly.
All right. Well,
He's a stalker.
face guy. I don't remember names. I got too many head dents, brother.
Okay. Well, here's what he says about you. He says, "Good to see you guys got Sting to be a special guest on the show." Then he said, "Nate has the greatest mustache." So he gave you a little dig, but then he came back with a little compliment. So Timothy Tim appreciates.
Oh wait,
that.
Sting was a dig? Oh, I missed it.
So what's Daren?
That
Any
is
questions?
an awesome
Joe,
mustache,
any
no
questions?
doubt.
It is an awesome mustache.
Yes, I do have a question.
Tim is a guy who needs sneakers.
He needs some sneakers.
And a warm meal.
Any questions for Nate? Because I have a few, but
I have a question. I have a question for Nate. No, I know that the laughter therapy and everything is fantastic, and are they still starting to look into any like psychedelic research with the post-traumatic trauma? I know there were some studies that they were doing, even using ketamine to help you guys. Is that moving forward? Do you know anything about that?
You know, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I'm not going to say I'm opposed. I do have a number of buddies that have dabbled in that side of things, and they've talked about microdosing and a number of other projects, and talked about how beneficial it was to their overall, I'm just going to say sanity, but overall mental health. And I don't know a whole lot of it. I haven't put a lot of time and effort into researching it, but I'm all for it. I mean, I think one of the things that is incredibly true about this issue that we're facing, just mental health in the veteran and military cultures, is that there isn't one solution. There isn't this Irreverent Warriors with our, camaraderie and fun and jokes and laughter and dark humor. There isn't just the VA and clinical therapy. There isn't a single solution. It's going to take an army of people banding together and finding a multitude of solutions to get people the medicine they need.
Yeah. What's next coming up? When is your next event?
Oh, the next one's a good one, and that's what I'm keeping this for. We have our annual formal in Key West, Florida, called Silkies and Sequins.
Right.
We get together and dress up in all kinds of random stuff, but I generally go in a tux with silkies. And then
you like those silkies?
Oh yeah, we all do. It's a thing. It's a real thing. Right. They're comfortable.
What are silkies?
You gotta try them. But
those little shorts, Joe.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Those little shorts. You can find them on www.irreverentwarriors.com. Shameless plug.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm getting very excited.
All right. I'll buy a pair.
Get it. You must. But so Key West, we're starting with Silkies and Sequins, and then we're rolling into a hike the next day, and that's our final hike of the year. And then starting December 15th-ish, we're going to get our new hike list out, and we're going to have about 70-ish events across the country. The big thing coming next year is we're reaching outside the continental U.S. We're hitting Hawaii and Puerto Rico and Guam this next year.
Wow. Awesome. And the website is?
www.irreverentwarriors.com.
And you also will be using our comedy shows moving forward to create a little smiles and laughs and raise a little money.
I would absolutely love to use it, John.
Yeah, and John.
Great.
Yeah. Daren.
And John, if he's down here in Florida, he can contact me. I can help you hook it up, whatever you needed to get done.
Nate, we'll let you know. You can look on the website when he's going to be in Florida. Daren will wear the silkies, take pictures for everybody, and participate whatever you want. Whatever you want Daren to do. If the craziest thing you can think of, he's done it already.
Oh, I bet. He's my Huckleberry, huh?
Look how calm he looks right now. Daren has lived.
He's starting to rock in his chair. I'm not sure you call that calm.
He's exhausted from his first 25 years on this earth.
He moved to Florida. That's the craziest thing you could do.
How old are you, Daren? How old are you?
It's a rocking chair. I'm
okay.
50 now,
Daren,
man. I'm done.
Are you still eating solid foods?
Yeah. But that's how
Barely.
that's how exhausted this young man is. He moved to Florida. He lived 35 years of hell, just crazy living, and he moved to Florida at a young age and retired.
In New York.
He beat the rush.
Yeah.
We're almost the same age.
Yeah.
Nate, we will talk to you soon, my brother. Thank
That
you.
was great. I don't know if that was a threat or a promise, but I'll take you up on it.
Thank you. Thank you. And the mustache. Thank you and the mustache for taking the time.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you soon.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Nate. One of my favorites. Let's go to our last commercial, then we'll come back with the always lovely Joe and Daren.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials? Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN duct cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education, realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island. MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
I just love that.
That is very intimidating.
I love that commercial. I just love that commercial.
Me too.
I like how Pat stops coughing as soon as he sees the guy.
Well, you know what? It was our first attempt. It was our first attempt at making a commercial. So there were certain parts that I think they said, let's cut this, and they forgot to cut that. You know, like the back of the truck is disgusting.
John, it wasn't that bad.
It was fun.
I thought it was really good. It's just funny to me because I know all those people.
But you know what the fun part is, and you guys would just the whole day of shooting with those people and what went on in between takes was so much fun. You know, forget about the commercial. What went on? We should have shot a lot of the outtakes.
Did you try to get Louis Gossett Jr.?
That's always the best part. The part leading up to it.
Right? Yeah. Timothy Tim, the Sting comment, I'm sorry, was for you, Daren, and you knew that, and I screwed up. Timothy Tim said, how did you get Sting?
That's fine.
You knew that. You knew that.
He could have meant the wrestler. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. Daniel Romano, our buddy. Bruno Capella. Thank you guys for watching. Kevin Nareka from Albany. Kevin King from Jersey. One of our heroes, guys. Kevin King out there, EMS responding from a department in New Jersey. So we got a few more minutes here. And
hey, John.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was the last time you were on stage?
Stage day? We did a private show that we filmed on the intent October 4th. And then I think I did a show a week after that, or it might be the night before for the Freeport Yacht Club. We did that outside under a tent in the open area.
Well.
Well, it was next to the yacht. It wasn't on the yacht. It's not as fancy.
We were there as comics going,
let
us get on stage, you know. But there were two fun shows. You know, I go back and forth with the whole thing. I was a little uneasy, you know, but it is what it is. I probably wouldn't do it next week, but it was fun. It was fun.
How about you, Joe? You've been performing in Jersey?
Yeah, I've been doing I almost want to say one live show a week, but you know, with the weather changing,
Yeah, it's going to get tough.
I have one technically booked for Saturday, but it's supposed to rain, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's people don't think of the
suck.
comics. Yeah, that's why I want to do these online shows. I paid the comics last week to do this online show. I paid them, and I hope to get a sponsor and sell the show to some organizations. But people aren't thinking that, comics are not getting paid right now.
The clubs are open down here, but they're at a limited capacity. It's just not comfortable going there yet.
Oh, Daren, there were clubs open down there. I was talking to my friends in Texas and Florida in the height of this thing where they were like, "Oh no, the place was packed. There was none." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like
they're
Texas, especially, Texas was out of their minds. They were like, And I said, this one girl who's a comic who I worked with, she was out there. She's like, "John, I'm the only one walking around with a mask on, and people are like throwing things at me, like, what are you doing?" So
it's crazy. It's a lot less down here.
But we'll get through it. It's going to take longer than we want.
Yeah.
But we'll see the other side. It's just a matter of staying the course. So
Don, Joe too. The thought of doing 45 minutes now, well, is that making you a little nervous? Being like we're getting no stage time? Think about that.
It's weird. Like when I've had longer sets booked, it's been easy for me. But now when I go back and do a 10-minute set, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just go up there and I'm like, guys, they clean the subway, and then I just fall apart. And what I have to do, because I got booked to do a private party 3 weeks ago. It was 9 people in a backyard, and I did an hour and 2 minutes like it was nothing. And then I had a show on a street corner in the city 2 days later to do 7 minutes, and I had no idea what to do.
It's tough. It's tough. But I'll have you guys
That is
on one of these shows. You guys will enjoy these shows because the comics are the audience. So we have 4 comics on the show, and they're the audience. So you get some laughs, you get some banter back and forth. We have some fun, and we send them to the veterans hospitals, St. Albans, Northport, and the retirement home for New York State firefighters. And then I'm trying to sell them to different charities to sell for $5, and it's a good time. We had a good
That's
time.
a great idea, John.
Yeah, we had a good time. You guys would be great on it. Joe, but we got to figure out Joe's background because you do have that something going on in the background. Unless there's a party going on in his freaking place and he's not telling us.
The party's just out to the right. Yeah, if I go any further, you'll see it. It's not good. There's more than 10 people, so I'd rather not announce.
Hey, John, we're gonna be wrapping up anyway, right?
Yeah. Daren, you got to go? You got your next? You got to go?
No, I'm dying. My battery's dying.
Oh, okay. Well, let me thank Daren and Joe Pontillo for hanging out with me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Nate and Lonnie, who are doing God's work
Joe,
out there.
good seeing you.
Yeah, I can't believe you moved to Florida. I feel so betrayed.
It's good to see both of you guys.
Come on over.
That's one of the good things about doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Laughter Saves Lives Live. We'll be back next week. Take care. We're going to the diner.
Love you guys.
Shows.
Virtual diner.
We can't wait to go to the diner.
Future.
See you.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer that circle the lips? Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.